Hello everybody, and welcome to Disability Time with Yana. We have a mug, we have some hot water, and we have a nice bag of mint tea. And today we are going to be talking about service dogs in the Netherlands, specifically. Perhaps some of these things will overlap with your country or your state or wherever you live. Perhaps some of these things will overlap with your experience with service dogs. So please sit down and watch, or don't, and just come, enjoy, relax, and let's drink a cup of tea together. Hi, Linkje. My dog is here. So, first things first, what is the reality of a service dog? The reality of a service dog is not really a fun reality. It's a dog. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be tears. It's going to be late night walks. It's going to be so many hard decisions and people staring at you when you go into shops with a service dog vest on your service dog. That's the reality of it. It's not always easy. Is it accepted? I find that in the Netherlands, it is quite accepted, but people often don't understand. They're not supposed to stare or touch the service dog or talk to the service dog. Like, often they do understand they're not supposed to pet your service dog. They don't understand they're not supposed to talk to your service dog because it still distracts the service dog from doing its work. So oftentimes they will be like, oh no, I'm not supposed to pet your dog. But they will be like, oh, you're such a good girl, huh? You're doing so well. And then my dog Ahsoka, my service dog, will be very distracted and won't be able to do her work properly if I do get a seizure or things like that in my case. So these are just things that are general for me. So not in the Netherlands per se, but just in general, I find that a lot of people with service dogs do experience these things. And often people will think service dogs are trendy. So they'll be like, yeah, but it's a trend. So you'll want the service dog one moment and then you won't want it later. That's not what a service dog is for. A service dog is for so many things. It's for your mental health, it's for your physical health, it's for when you sleep and wake up from nightmares, and the service dog is there, and it's just so different to what medication and other things can do. In reality, sometimes you just need something different, and a service dog can offer that. And people don't often understand that it's not a trend, but that it's up and coming in the mobility aid world. and a service dog is a mobility aid that you have to just really take care of as your own child, kind of, I find. So yeah, it's first off, it's a mobility aid and a dog, that a pet. So it is a pet, but it's also a mobility aid. Like, it helps you get around again. It helps you, how do I explain this? It helps you want to get out again. It helps you want to leave the house again and not stay inside, and yeah. It forces you to walk the dog, you know? It forces you to at least get outside. Even on rainy days when you just have to. So yeah. Well, it's time to take a sip of my tea. Now, funding in the Netherlands is so incredibly hard. I find that funding is the hardest part of getting a service dog. In most countries, probably. Funding is just the hardest thing of getting a service dog. I find that everyone is walking against this big wall of just funding, and in the Netherlands you can only get funding if you are blind, if you have a really bad illness, or if and the illness only, the funding only runs up to 1,100 euros, which is frankly not even enough for the dog itself. And then you'll have to, just pay the rest yourself, basically. The training and the puppy stuff and the food and the everything that comes around it. I mean, it is still a living thing. It still needs food, it still needs water, it still needs exercise, it needs a vest, it needs things like that. It needs a harness, it needs so many things that it gets really expensive. And the training is probably the most expensive part of a service dog. So once you do get the dog, which is, the dog itself is quite a big investment, the training after that is going to be quite a big investment as well. Now, how to make it officially a service dog in the Netherlands is quite odd as well, because a lot of companies will say in the Netherlands, they'll say, it's an official service dog if you train with us, because they have an EU they have an EU certificate thing, stamp, but frankly, a service dog in the Netherlands, you cannot deny a service dog with a pass, and a pass is quite easy to make as long as the trainer is qualified. And a qualification is just, it's a training, it's a course, and the trainer needs to have done the course, obviously, and as long as the trainer has done the course and maybe some other kind of courses around dogs next to it, as long as they've done the service dog course and the kind of other courses next to it, if they wanted to, they're allowed to make a pass, and they can give you the pass, and then you're allowed to go basically everywhere with your service dog. But now I have run into a couple of things, such as concerts, where in some cases concerts in Haydon in Zwolle, we were allowed in first. It was so accepted. It was really kind. They were really kind. They were amazing. It was amazing. The concert was lovely. The people were lovely. But Ziggo Dome and Johan Cruyff Arena, I'm not specifically those two places, but the Mojo concerts, they basically say you're allowed to take your service dog, but we won't take responsibility if something happens. So I'm not taking Ahsoka to the concerts that I'm going to, or the one concert I'm going to, because I was going to go to 2 concerts with Ahsoka, but now I'm going to 1 concert without Ahsoka, and frankly I'm really scared to go without her, and I'm going with my dad, so that's nice, but I'm rambling off here. But basically they'll say, if you do take your dog, your service dog, we won't take responsibility for what happens if something does happen. So that's pretty awful, so in my opinion. So I have run up against a couple of things like this, and that's just quite awful. Also small shops that just, the people were just really unkind about the service dog, things like that. Just therapists who didn't really understand that a service dog is legally allowed everywhere. Yeah. It can be hard sometimes, but officially they are allowed everywhere, so keep that in mind. Also, always say, this is a service dog, she or he is allowed in. Don't ask if the service dog is allowed in, just say, this is a service dog, she or he is allowed in. Because the more question you make, or the more questions you ask, the more questions they'll ask themselves. So that's, in my experience, the one thing you can do to just justify that it's a service dog, so she or he is allowed in. Don't even make it a question, just, they're allowed in. Boom, done. So yeah, I think we've covered all the topics that I've written down. Now, I hope you did learn something, or if you do have questions, leave them down below and I will answer them for you, obviously. Or go to my Instagram and DisabiliTEA+Yana, and I will answer all your service dog questions on there, or any other questions you have. And please subscribe, like, leave a nice comment if you feel like it, and I'll see you in the next DisabiliTEA time. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was a bit of a more serious topic. These videos I will keep making them, because I find that they are quite important. So if you have an idea for a topic, please do leave that down below as well, or in the comment section on my Instagram, DisabiliTEA+Yana, and I'll see you in the next one.